What is up, you guys? BerryTCG here. If you didn't know, I host a tournament every single week, and if you win or do well in it, you get to be featured in my video. It's totally free to sign up and play. Just check out DuelVoyager.com. It's the best sim on planet Earth, guys. You will not be disappointed. But without any further ado, guys, you are looking at Red Shanks, which I brought to the tournament, and I ended up winning. So I'm very happy with this deck. Shanks is a very defensive deck that I've liked for a while, and it got some really great support with the new 5-cost Ben Beckman. This guy is a blocker that just for 1 extra Dawn lets you cheat out any of your Shanks cards for free. It's obviously really fantastic because you can either rush or pop something, but then this 10-cost guy also lowers their power by 1,000 permanently, and you also will have 4 extra Dawn after using him, so you can play another blocker or just stack them onto your leader and attack even bigger. You just have tons of defense with your leader effect, especially when you start lowering all their power by 1,000, and then even when you start stacking your 9-cost Shanks onto the field, putting your leader to 7,000 power, it just makes it incredibly hard for your opponent's characters to really touch your life. In round 2, I was actually against Red-Yellow Sabo, which ended up winning last week, so I was pretty worried about this matchup since I just know how powerful and defensive it is. So I just needed to make sure I got to my 10 Dawn turn so I could start setting up my 10-cost Shanks. I've been collecting them already. I have 3 in my hand, so I'm just hoping to be able to drop as many of them on the board as I can to hopefully be able to stop their characters from attacking, because this pudding, for instance, only has 4,000 power. So once I start reducing it, it's gonna have 3,000, 2,000 power on the field. That's basically nothing. So it's gonna be incredibly hard for him to really make use of his characters. And then once his characters are useless, I should be able to go for game. So basically, I have been using my Ben Beckman to get some characters off the field, and now finally I have 10 Dawn, so I'm able to play the 5-cost blocker Ben Beckman, rest a Dawn card, and then play out the 10-cost Shanks. Just attack him again, see what he does, but he plays out a Devon. Is pretty unfortunate, so this Devon's going to be a big attack because it can just copy my 10-cost Shanks power. My only real saving grace this turn is the fact that I have the blocker, plus everybody's being lowered by 1,000 power. I was also really happy that he attacked with the Katarina Devon first, so I didn't have to worry about what he'd do, because he could just stack a ton of Dawn onto the Katarina and then attack over my Shanks if I'd used my blocker early. So I was happy that he just attacked with this Devon into my life, so I could just easily use my leader and counters for his smaller stuff and make sure I could play efficiently. So now he just stacks his Gecko Moria into life, which is just such a powerful play because he's able to play anything back from his life. And I'm just really trying to outlast him and get all 4 geckos into his trash. That's actually what happens in this game. He ends up triggering all 4 of his geckos because that's just how insane Sabo is. He just has infinite cards, and it's really hard to attack his life because his board just fills up instantly. You can see that I really didn't want to attack his life. I actually attacked before I sent the Devon into the trash because I made him counter out, because otherwise he really didn't have a lot of good targets in his trash for the 8-cost Gecko Moria on the top of his life. So now he just attacks with his Sabo and then throws down a 10-cost Roger, which I didn't really expect, but I'll just block it right now. Obviously don't want to go down to 0 life, because if I did go down to 0 life, I probably just would have lost next turn because he had another one in his hand. I wonder if that was his play, actually, if he thought I'd be a little greedy like that, but obviously I wasn't going to do that. So I'm just going to get his big body off of the field while I can. I just want to get his total cards down whenever I can. So now I'm boosting myself to 7,000 power, plus I have 2 of those 10-cost Shanks on the field, so everybody's going to be lowered by 2, plus I'm boosted by 2, so it's a 4,000 power gap now that I'm creating from what he's normally used to calculating for attacks. So now he attacks for 11 again, and I just block this one, throws down Gecko Moria, gets a life card, uses his leader, and puts the Gecko Moria into life. It's just really crazy. He's just so easily able to loop it. He even has another one in his hand, so when I attack him, he does counter out again because he would probably rather me attack over his Devon first and put it into the trash, so that when I attack his life, you know, he'll be able to trigger his Gecko Moria and pull the Zoro out, which actually happens here. I attacked over the Devon last because I did not want him to keep summoning it, because it's just so annoying that he can just attack for free for 10,000 power now. It's just a little too much. I just can't take too many of those. I only have 1 life card left, and I don't have any blockers. So I'll boost myself to 7,000 power again, and I'm just hoping for the best. I'm happy he threw down another 8-cost Gecko Moria instead of just stacking Dawn and going for my life. I think that could have been a better play. Even if you didn't win that turn, you're still getting cards out of my hand, and then you're setting it up for the next turn, where if I don't have a blocker, I'm really under a lot of pressure because he has 6 life cards, guys. 6 life cards. He has Gecko Moria, is that 2 Kumasi, and then a Hogback. He just has infinite plays from trash, so he'll be able to get a massive field for free So while I can, I'm just going to counter out, especially because I can't stand to lose any more life cards, especially while I don't have any more blockers. So I was happy to see a Searcher card here, and I actually do end up using it, and I do get a blocker. I was very happy about that. So now I attack with my Ben Beckman just to get over his Zoro. Now I'm going to start trying to get his life down a little bit. I'm gauging how many cards he's going to be getting onto his field, and this pudding is perfectly fine. It only has 2,000 power. I'm not worried about him attacking with it at all, but this Kumasi playing the Hogback kind of worried me. So on the one hand, I was thinking of playing my Lucky Roo this turn, but then on the other hand, I was debating if I wanted to play another Ben Beckman, which I did end up doing just to make sure that he didn't have that on KO effect, and also he couldn't attack with it if he really wanted to. So now he plays down the Teach, obviously getting another life card because this is Sabo, and it's free. So he puts the Teach into life, which I was happy about because I was worried he's going to start stacking some big attackers on his field, and he chose not to. He put it in his life, which really made me feel a lot better since he won't have a big 10,000 swing the next turn, and if he wants it on the field, he'll have to waste 8 more Dawn for it, and 1 life card isn't really that much when I have 6 big attacks. So I'm really just trying to whittle him down. I'm waiting for the turn where he doesn't gain 3 life cards on 1 turn, and then I'll be able to finish him off maybe the turn after. So he's taken a lot of life, but you know, now he has a few cards and I'm worried. So I play down my Uda and I get another 2k, and then I replace it with my Lucky Roo. I was going to throw down another one, but I decided I'd probably be fine because the Lucky Roo can just pop an opponent's character. So I didn't want to just overwrite one of my other big characters with a small blocker. So anyway, he attacks and I just stop it, and then he throws down a Borsalino and a Zoro, 2 life and a blocker. Really annoying, honestly, but it's not enough because I have just too many attacks and he doesn't have enough cards in his hand. He is able to pop my Lucky Roo, which I thought was really funny, but it doesn't matter. I just have too many big attacks, and I even have another 5-cost Beckman, which throws down my other 10-cost Shanks, which is able to win the game for me. But even if it didn't, I really think I would have been able to survive another turn. Everybody's lowered by 3. I have a blocker on the field, so I could effectively take 2 attacks. I don't think he could really invest his Dawn to make a big difference, but nonetheless, that was a fantastic game, and GG to Constant. Red Shanks is absolutely cracked, you guys. If you haven't played the deck yet, you really need to. Have you guys thought about Red Shanks before, or are you guys just more interested in the new Green Shanks in OP17? Let me know in the comments below. In second place, we had Rocks.D.Xebec, and I did not think that this deck would do so well. I think that this deck has a lot of problems with how many bricks that it has, but Tortello played really well and he was able to make second place. I really like his list. He has the 1-cost Buckin in here. It's just the only 1k counter that the deck has. You just need counters. And you know, he plays Kaio, which was actually really annoying in our matchup because he was able to stop me from getting rid of his characters with my Ben Beckman. Dunmarlin is great because it gets your 2Ks back into your hand, and he's also maxed out on copies of Linlin as well as Newgate and Shiki, which are other ways to convert your bricks into other counters. I really think that this 3-cost Dussi is such a good card. Just for 6 Dawn, stopping 2 character swings, it's just fantastic stuff. And you just have a million cards in your hand, so you just have tons of consistency and just plenty of cards to pitch for your effects. Xebec has 5 life and already so many cards in hand, and now with the leader effect you're drawing more. It's funny he had all 3 Dunmarlins in his hand at the same time, but then he plays Linlin and draws even more. It's really crazy. So now his opponent doesn't really do a lot on their turn, they just throw down the 6-cost Kid. So back on Xebec's turn, very easy, they're just going to attack and be able to draw again. Well, I guess first they play down the Newgate, and all of their characters draw on play too, so it's just very easy to have a massive hand. Like, how many cards does he have already? At least 10? And then he's going to attack with the Linlin, put some pressure on his opponent, and then he attacks with his leader, getting more cards into his hand, and he even used his Newgate to boost his power to make it an even stronger swing. And now, because of all of his hand cycling and everything, he's able to easily protect his Linlin, also using the Linlin's effect, and his opponent just attacks a bunch of times into it, but you'll see that he's able to protect it every single time. Now, I think that this was a super pivotal turn because it let Tortello build up his board, it kept his life protected, and now on this turn he's able to throw down the 7-cost Shiki, which just acts as another way to lower power, not only when his opponent attacks, but when he attacks himself. So it's just a lot easier to get over your opponent's cards, and now the game feels pretty wrapped up just because of how tight of a hold it feels like he has on the field already. This deck continues to surprise me, guys. I really didn't think that it would see much success because of just how bricky it is, and it feels like it just loses to aggro decks because you can just attack their life really quickly, and they can't do anything about it unless they've specifically established their Linlin, Newgate, or Shiki first, unless they're just willing to burn a bunch of cards from their hand, which they only have a limited number of. They only have 12 2Ks in the deck at all, so once they start countering out of a few of them, you know that even if they have a big hand, they only have a certain number, and they don't have 1Ks, so you know that it's very easy to just attack over them. If you just attack for 7K into life over and over and over again, I think it's just really punishing to Xebec, and there's not a lot that they can do about it. Nothing against Tortello, he played really well. I just do think that this deck will see less usage as people play against it more, see how it plays, and understand how to win against it. But for now, especially in the pre-release format, it does really well. And in third place, we have Starter Deck 13 Sabo again. Now last week, this deck actually won, so Constant wanted to bring it again this week and try to win again, but I was able to shut him down with Shanks, so I was happy about that. But this deck feels absolutely insane with the new support. I mean, this 3-cost pudding is just nuts. You get to trash basically any card in your hand to draw 3? What is this? And then you just have infinite life cards with your 8-cost Gecko Morias and your 8-cost Teaches, which you can then turn around and stack into your life with your Leader's Effect. So not only are you able to just gain a life card, you're able to just put him into your life and then activate his trigger, pop one of your opponent's cards, negate an effect, or just summon anything back from your trash with a cost of 4 or less. Now this is really fantastic because Devon is a really powerful attacker. She can just copy one of your opponent's character's power, so it's just a free like 10k swing late into the game. It's super easy and super nice. Zoro's another fantastic target, just getting you a life card, and Perona can stun one of your opponent's characters as well, so there's just so many options. And also Hogback, like he can play back a character with his trigger, or he can play back a character with his on KO effect. It's just infinite bodies, and it's just so easy to overwhelm the opponent. Like check it out, so Sabo goes onto his 9-Don turn, throws down the Teach to get a Kumasi into his life. Now, this is already really strong because when he takes damage, the Kumasi is able to play back something like Dr. Hogback from the trash, but not only that, he's able to put a Don onto his leader, and then, well actually I thought he was going to use his leader effect here. Normally you would just put Teach into life, now you have just a fantastic trigger to be able to pop anything, you know, like the Zoro for instance, but in any case, you know, his opponent throws down Perona, attacks with Zoro, here the Kumasi comes out, he plays the Hogback, so that's just another attack, and then he probably freezes it with his Gecko Moria, but then he attacks life. Unfortunately, it wasn't a trigger, but it doesn't matter too much. That card was a trigger though, so he's able to pop the Zoro anyway, and now on his 10-Don turn, you would think that he's going to start attacking his life, but the most important thing is actually just to get this Teach off of the field, because Sabo just wants to play slow and make sure that their opponent has absolutely no resources to their name, so he doesn't even attack their life at all, making sure they have nothing in their hand to hopefully do absolutely nothing with. But they do have an 8-cost Gecko Moria, so they're able to make a play. But in any case, Sabo has a big field already, and he's just playing with his opponent at this point, it feels like. He has a massive field, he can get infinite life, not only with the cards in his hand, but also with his leader. Even though that there is 20 more minutes left in the game, it feels pretty much wrapped up already. I was actually just going through the rest of the replay, you guys. I did not watch this because I obviously was playing my own round at the same time. But look at this, he has 6 life cards. He decked his opponent out. That is crazy. It's funny, he actually ended up scooping there, but he threw down the Sindri just to mill the rest of his deck. That was crazy. He didn't even want to go for game. He just wanted to wear his opponent out. Yeah, Sabo is pretty nasty this format, guys. If you guys aren't playing this deck yet, you absolutely need to be. I left all the links to the decks in the description below, so make sure to check that out. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe, and make sure to hop on DuelVoyager.com and play in the next tournament and be featured in my next video. But that's about it for me, guys, so peace.